It's definitely gonna run out.
For anyone that's worked in the gym before.
I could tell you hundreds of stories about working in the gym.
So you see a lot of people, they get their memberships immediately. You know, I'm about to work out, I'm about to get the dream body, boom, boom, boom. How long does that last?
You want me to be real honest?
Be real.
Want to be real honest with you?
Be real.
About maybe 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
See, I didn't think it was gonna be that.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Hey, look. As a person who worked in the gym, I can confidently say almost 80% of people, 70 to 80%, they don't make it past the first month. And it sucks. It sucks for different financial reasons. But it's like, I'm used to seeing, like you said, that like honeymoon phase of people being excited for the thing. Or excited for this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Then January 3rd, they already slipped. Welcome to the Echo of Vlad Podcast. I feel to have deep conversation about life, God, relationship, tough topics, anything we come up with, but most of all, having a real and honest conversation, dropping a few gems along the way. I'm here with the Boys series, Vlad versus the Boys, because sometimes I'll be disagreeing with my boys. So right now, today... Sometimes. What are you talking about?
Every now and then, you got your moments.
Definitely more than
I got my moments. I got my moments where I'm right. Actually, no, I'm
Stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Definitely, like more than like 80% of the time, you be having disagreements with A, you know.
Hey man, that's what we're here for. That's
exactly.
What we're here for. I like it. Hey, introduce yourselves, Rochelle.
Hey, Money Man Tim on IG. What's good, y'all boys? Back at it again.
Rochelle.
Okay, your boy Kenny back up on here. Life_Pablo G.
Yes, sir.
On IG.
I like it. And Fred is missing this episode.
Damn, I'm missing the guy.
He good though.
He good. Hey, wait, hold on. First off, where's my manners? Where are my manners? Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy 2023.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to the New Year.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year's to all y'all, and hope y'all have a great day.
We made it though.
Great
2023 is crazy.
For sure.
Crazy.
2023 is a good year. It's going to be a good year. I ain't going to lie to you. For this pod, it's going to be a good freaking year.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree,
100%.
How y'all feel about the New Year so far?
Hey, man. I'm feeling great, man. I have a lot of stuff working for me this year, man. I feel it, man. I just feel it. Spiritual life is crazy. Everything is just going the way it's supposed to be going. I just thank God for that, for real.
I like the energy, Kenny.
Man, look, I ain't gonna fall into the new year, new me.
That right there.
We're not gonna fall into that. At the end of the day, new year, well, another year, same execution. Plan is still the same.
Okay.
You just gotta put in more energy. Now, the only difference is now, you got more time to get things done. Because you get to start from January up to now. But, I'm not gonna fall for the new year, new me mindset now.
Yeah,
That's a trap.
It's a trap.
Fred, what you think about this? We gonna roast it this whole episode. Okay. But not for real though. It's a good year to be alive for sure. It's definitely a lot of stuff I'm kind of thinking about planning, especially with the pod. Everything in general. Kenny, I hate to disappoint you, but the theme of this episode is New Year, New Me.
Oh.
My bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about like people always saying, "Hey, New Year, New Me," this kind of thing?
Go ahead, Tim.
Me personally, I just feel it's like if you know, because I feel like people they still think they're gonna change. They feel like they're gonna change within the new year, but then after that they just go back to the same things, which makes that nothing's changed within the past year. So it's like Kenny said, you've proven the same, you've given the same execution every year, but it's just like, is it really new if you're doing the same thing over and over again?
True. Do you think people really change with the New Year?
I feel like it's subjective because I do feel like there's some situation where there's some people they have a horrible year where things must have went south, they probably got betrayed, businesses must have failed, or they have some things in the work, the motion haven't even started yet, so they're still trying to get things going. And then the new year, it's like it's a clean slate for them because mentally, if it's not a clean slate for them, they'll go crazy, or they might have a mental breakdown. So some people they need to actually have the new year, new me mindset in order for them to stay stable. But I feel like on the other hand, I do feel like some people use it as an excuse. Yeah. So like, and what I mean by an excuse, I mean most people they wait till, oh man, the year's about to end, I don't have to try anymore. We could just try next year. But tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow's not promised at the end of the day. So you have to treat every day as if, it is quote unquote the new year. Because who's going to say you're actually going to make it to the actual new year? Or who's going to say that the opportunity that you want to start when the new year comes will still be there? You have to start laying the foundations now. So that's why I feel like you always have to be in a preparation mindset before the new year even comes. So when the new year gets here, you're not preparing for it, you just execute it.
So you're saying start that new year, new me mindset before the new year.
Yes.
That makes it more effective.
Yes.
That makes sense. I mean, people in general, we all like fresh starts to things.
Yeah.
Like when you graduate high school, that's a fresh start to life. When you graduate college, that's a fresh start to life. When you start a new job, you get a new car, whatsoever, that's a fresh start to life. People always like that, like having those fresh starts to remind them, hey, they have somewhere to look forward to. Or even that they have something to, like you said, it's something to kind of prepare for so they could feel different about their lives. What do you guys think?
I mean, on top of that, I do feel like there's a honeymoon phase to that.
Really?
Because it's like you're running on New Year, New Me adrenaline. That's what I call it. So after a while, it's
definitely not right out.
For anyone that's worked in the gym before.
I can tell you hundreds of stories about working in the gym.
So you see a lot of people, they get their memberships immediately. I'm about to work out, I'm about to get the dream body, boom, boom, boom. How long does that last?
You want me to be real honest?
Be real.
Want to be real honest with you?
Be real.
About maybe 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
See, I didn't think it was gonna be that.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Hey, look. As a person who worked in the gym, I can confidently say almost 80% of people, 70 to 80%, they don't make it past the first month. And it sucks. It sucks for different financial reasons, but it's like I'm used to seeing, like you said, that honeymoon phase of people being excited for the thing or excited for this, that, and the third. Then January 3rd, they already slipped. And whatever. I remember seeing this. I remember seeing this on Twitter. It was like I think when 2022 started, the person was like, it was January 2nd. I already failed. Let's start again next year.
That's tough.
I already failed. Let's start again.
And at the end of the day as well, too, it's like what you're feeding your mind before the new year even start plays a big role on how effective you're going to be during that new year. If you've been in lazy mode for all of 2022 up to December and you think you're automatically going to be in productive mode as soon as January 1st hit, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself. So you have to start making preparations before the new year comes. That's why I'm like, when people are talking about 2023, I'm like, 2022 is not done yet. There's still some things left in the little couple of days you can already do.
I feel you. Y'all remember 2020 when the year first started and we almost went to war?
The worst year ever. The worst year.
Funny, man.
Oh my lord.
That whole year is funny. Was it January? I'm not gonna say the number. It comes after 5. I'll tell you that.
My goodness. My goodness.
But crazy stuff happens when the New Year's kicks off. Do you ever realize that? Some crazy story happens as soon as the New Year kicks off.
You gotta build hype. You gotta build the propaganda sometimes.
Yeah.
That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. Personally, I would say that 2020 was the worst year. But back to what you were saying, though. That's why I feel like New Year, New Me, I just feel like to some people it's only just a mindset. It's only just a mindset. That you still gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
But some people can just be lazy. That's crazy what you just said. People go to the gym 3 days and that's it, and then just...
Bro.
They're running on adrenaline, bro.
Exactly.
New Year, New Me adrenaline.
You know what's crazy? Their membership's still going.
Exactly. Now you're paying bread for what, though?
Don't remind me, bro.
Now you're paying bread for what, though? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you can't keep lying to yourself and saying New Year, New Me, but it's like, all you're saying is New Year, New Me. It's just a bunch of nothing.
And at the end of the day, I feel like, there's some people, they post about the New Year, New Me to get applause or recognition.
Exactly.
The New Year, New Me got to be only for you at the end of the day. There's some people, they don't care about what you post online. So I feel like if you have that whole New Year, New Me mindset, just so you could get a couple likes or a couple hearts on your story or whatever, is it really New Year, New Me, or is it New Year, New Likes, or whatever it may be?
I mean, yeah, some people do it just to feel something, just to post it, feel like they're doing better, to show to other people. But I think most people just get caught up in okay, yes, a new year, new things I'm accomplishing, new things I get to, kind of explore a little bit. Like it's that feeling of exploration of something that you don't know. So I guess that new year kind of shows them or makes them think about, oh wait, I have more stuff to explore. I have more stuff that I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next year. They always say you don't know what happens tomorrow. Next year, that just gets time to 1,000.
And that's what gets to my point. It's just, I guess my thing is people waiting till the new year comes to start to get things going. There's some things, unfortunately, you do have to wait till New Year comes, because there's some things that they might activate actually in the new year. But there's some things that you could start immediately now. And that's why I feel like the whole New Year, New Me stuff, it's a very casual thing to really have that type of mindset of, But I do feel like some people, they do need that specific mindset because they went through so much the year before. That New Year, New Me mindset is what's literally carrying them throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So I do understand that some people, they do need it, and I understand the value of it. But I do know other people as well that use it as an excuse, so they don't get things done immediately, so they could procrastinate, so they could quote unquote wait till the new year, and they get on this adrenaline, and by mid-February, I'm rebranding.
Hey, I feel like Kenny kind of described me. Like, he look at me dead about
I'm
trying to tackle, brother.
Hey, man, you look at me dead about why you say this. I'm like, okay, I get it, Kenny. No more procrastination. I get it. Nah, but it's for sure something to look back on. I know for me, graduating college finally this year.
Congratulations,
hey, man.
No, that's a compliment.
For sure.
You too, though, right?
Yeah.
It's always like, it gets you excited about, like, okay, the new frontier, the new things that you're doing in life, the new things that you have to explore. It's like, again, it's like you can't wait to explore something, like, very different. You don't know how life is going to turn out this year or this after this particular thing. There's some people, like, they probably, like, their leases probably just ended up and they gotta switch to a whole new spot. They about to buy a whole new house. They about to start a family. About to do something. Like it's very nostalgic. What's the word for it? It's like not nostalgic, but something to look forward to. Like it's something that makes them like so excited for the future. I don't think it's particularly bad. Of course, in the like procrastinating mindset over glorifying.
It could be good. It depends. It could be good or bad. It really do depends.
Exactly, but it's like. I mean, I laugh whenever I see online the New Year, New Me. Like I'd be dying of laughter every time I see it.
It's like, bro, come on now.
Because if you,
I always like, it's like comedy to me. It's like I really want to see, did this person change?
And then when you see them, same exact person.
Because if you look back even on this year, January came by, February went by fast, really fast. March.
We're already in December.
Chill.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't even remember this year.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, that if you don't start making preparations now, by the time 2023 comes, it's going to be a blur. So we have to start making preparation now. So we don't start chasing time, but we can just be controllers of time.
So let me ask this question. Is it good to set goals for the new year?
Oh, 100%. You have to have some type of structure,
What do you mean by structure?
I do feel like people, they like, it's the new year, it's the new me. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to start this. I'm going to start that. Like, no.
Yeah, you can say that. That's cool.
And that's dangerous because now it goes back to you're riding on new year, new me, adrenaline.
Exactly.
How long that momentum is going to carry you if you have no structure? The structure is going to make you last the rest of the whole year. The new year, new me mindset is what's going to have you to start. But what's going to make you last? That's why I feel like that structure, that goal planning is important.
That's why I feel like it's important to have a blueprint on your life.
That's true.
It's important to have a blueprint because you can't just go ahead and freeball everything. Like you don't know what you want to do. So I just feel like it starts with the little things.
Right.
Wait. right. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. Just do everything freehand. Everything is just like, bro, come on now. So I feel like it starts with like the little things.
Right.
As such as just have a little like clipboard in your room, write goals down, stuff like that. So you can just like not long term. You don't have to be long term. Just like little everyday things that you're gonna accomplish, and those little day things can turn into like big things that you plan on doing for the future and stuff like that.
And one thing, I know somebody like the whole like family member of mine, like the whiteboard method. It helps. Like actually writing things on a physical whiteboard and checking it off is actually give you a sense of dopamine, a sense of accomplishment when you're actually checking certain things off. So instead of typing virtual notes, I feel like actually having physical notes is a big difference because you're retaining that information and you're actually able to check it virtual as well too. But I feel like it hits different when you just do that check with the dry erase, or I think it hits different.
That what you call it, the whiteboard method, that really helps a lot. Like I got one and literally just kind of check everything off, kind of helps me get things done more. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I am the person who wants to just freestyle. Y'all know this about me.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, not to like, I like to have like a goal. Like let's say I'm trying to get to Jacksonville, right? I'm like, all right, bet. We'll just keep driving and keep going up north and see what happens, huh?
See?
But that's a little bit of me. I like to plan, but I just like to freestyle a little bit. Do you think it's like important to like leave room for error or leave room for like, kind of freestyling a little bit?
The error might come. I just don't want to give it any opportunity for it to come. If it comes, it comes. But you want to do as best as you can to minimize that margin of error.
At the end of the day, you're still human. You're still going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're still going to mess up.
I'm just not going to give it as much of a chance as you can.
Right.
So
you don't want to look forward to mistakes. You just want to look forward to the best outcome as possible.
Which I do feel like the most important thing for the whole new year, I feel like creating a budget. I feel like creating a budget because you're going to want to, some people want to start a new membership, a new business, new meal plan, new diet, whatever. How much you going to spend? Because you're going to be so lost in the, like I call it that adrenaline, the new year, new me adrenaline. You're just going to be swipe, throw a little cash here, throw a little cash there. And before you know it, you
start overdrafting your account.
It's like, that's why I feel like starting the new year with the budget, I feel like it makes a big difference.
Nah, for sure. And then the companies, they're not going to let up. They got like new deals on top of new deals and everything.
Duh. You see, everybody gets wet for the deals. Or you see deals and it's like, I got to hop on that. It's like, come on now. So it's like you said, it's like creating a budget. It's like you see what you can. That's another thing you could put on your board. Stuff you could put on your board is like make sure that the budget is just like A1, because you'll never know what can happen. Like an unfortunate circumstance can happen. It's just like, damn, I got to worry about this. So it's just like, it's like a good way to like maneuver the things is just like having a board. So it's like you know what to do.
That's true. That's true. I like where this conversation going, but we're gonna spice it up a little bit. We're gonna spice it up. We're gonna get a little bit.
We spice up.
We gonna get to disagreements a little bit. We're gonna disagree a little bit, but before we do that, let's go to commercial real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, stay right there. Stay right there. Actually, matter of fact, comment what you think about it.
Don't go nowhere.
Do you have a New Year's goal whatsoever? If not, drop it whatsoever. No New Year's goal, just freestyle everything.
Not just chilling on your bed watching Netflix.
We didn't learn anything from what Kenny just said.
That's crazy.
Hey, let's go to commercial.
It's more or less like, it's nothing personal, more or less. If I don't have me together, then I can't be here for you.
Yeah.
I can't. I need to put me together first before I'm willing to come to you and do these things for you. If I'm not right, then whatever it is you're expecting from me won't be correct. It won't.
We're back.
Take a sip of the mysterious drink.
Not sponsored, so we will not tell you who it is, but
Don't worry about it.
sponsor, if you think this is you, go ahead and give us a sponsor, please. Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much. Nah, but we're back though. But one of my personal themes for this year is why not? Like,
I like that.
For me, I've always been like not scared to do it, but I've always been like, okay, why do this? Why do that? Why this? Instead of like, why not? Like even with the podcast, like when I had this idea in 2020, right? 2020 to 2022 was just straight hesitation and then fear of failing. I think one of the things that would have helped me a lot is that why not kind of mindset to it. Like, why not start a podcast? Why not do this? Why not? Of course, being intentional about it, having goals and set things. But, like, I've always been, like, kind of scared to do it. Or scared to do something. Or even, back to the other part, about jumping off into a 14-foot pool.
You off for that.
But it's
for
like
that.
Ain't nobody doing that but you though. Just saying.
I'm saying every time I say why not, most of the time it benefits. I can't count the time that it hasn't worked out, but for sure, all the times that I've like said, okay, why not do this? Let's just do it. It's all worked out for the benefit. So do you think that actually goes better into it instead of like kind of planning a bit?
This is how I look at it, right? This is how I look at it. To a certain point, you have to take action.
Mm-hmm.
I am an advocate of that, where you can only plan for so long.
Right.
You can only delay the process for so long till you actually take the first step.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like just diving in and just figuring out later is very reckless, in the sense that it may cost you more obstacles down the line
Mm-hmm.
that could have been avoided if proper steps was taken,
Right.
Yeah.
was done. So I do feel like it's a balance of both. I do feel like you need a baseline level
Mm-hmm.
of preparation, and then you could take the first step. But I don't believe in just diving in first, because I feel like you're gonna cause unnecessary headaches when it didn't have to be that way.
Sure.
And I do feel like it does show a lack of maturity in one sense, for one thing. Hear me out.
Hold on.
Because
Personally,
because if you're so impatient, you just want to start now,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of, in a sense, a hothead, because you had to have a certain level of patience when it comes to your goals.
Right.
You have to be able to plan. You have to be able to understand timing, pacing. If you're not able to pace yourself, number one, you not only burn yourself out, but you will rush certain steps that shouldn't have been done in the first place.
Right.
So that's the reason I'm a fan. I'm a big advocate on that.
True. Tim.
I know it's very textbook, but
Can you just call me immature?
I did not.
Call me
I
reckless?
did
Call
not.
me-
I did not say that. I'm just.
Tim.
that's kind of crazy. Just to piggyback off what he said. I totally agree, because there's no need to have a sense of fear of doing something that you didn't plan on doing, because you don't have to be scared. You're not going to be scared until you know that you did it. But until you actually do it, there's no need to feel some type of fear. I'm not saying that you were scared. I'm just saying there's no need to have that sense of hesitation, because you can, like Kenny said, you can only hesitate for so long, but you can need that level of preparation before you get into it. Because trust me, I've been trying to do something. I've been trying to do something for the longest time, and without thinking about the side effects, I just did it, and it turned out it didn't work well for me. So it's just like, you gotta have that mentality of where I gotta prepare for this before I get into it, because you're not prepared for the stuff that can go left.
Right.
You're not prepared for that, so you just want to make sure you have that mindset of, I'm gonna do this. If this happens, let me see how I kind of work with that. And then throughout the whole process, it can be smooth if you just prepare. You feel me?
And on top of that, just because you made preparation, that doesn't mean your plan is not error proof. You get me?
Yeah.
But what it does do, like if you do fail, you will be able to better bounce back from it, because the fact that you already built the habit of properly preparing, you're not going to panic. You'll be like, okay, this didn't work out. Where did I go wrong in my preparation? Where did I go wrong in my steps? You're able to take a step back and retrace yourself, so you can actually come back stronger next time, opposed to you panicking, have a mental breakdown, throwing the towel in, I'm going to quit, or scrap it all together, I'm going to rebrand and I'm going to do something else. No, you were always so quick to rebrand. Like, you just started the first brand, you already want to rebrand to something. No, instead of like just taking a step back, the whole idea wasn't a failure. There were just some things along the way that kind of got a little bit messed up. And that was it.
I feel you. Funny, I was watching a podcast. Shout out to the Social Proof Podcast. The one of the hosts, she said, like some companies, when they're like failing, they'll call it a rebrand phrase, just so they can avoid it. And like we said before, some people do that with the New Year's. They feel like they failed, but then all of a sudden, New Year's, new me, this kind of thing, I get to start over. But I've always found myself like overthinking it, getting overwhelmed, and then quitting. Have an idea, overthinking, getting overwhelmed, and then quitting. For me, that why not kind of mentality is like, okay, before I overthink, why not? If I can't think of a good reason why not, let's do it. Do you think that's a good mindset to have? At least in my situation.
I mean, me personally,
It's subjective.
yeah,
It's subjective.
Very subjective.
yeah, me personally, I wouldn't be so quick to give up, because I'm letting that that thing that I'm working towards have authority over me. Well, I'm supposed to have authority over that particular thing. So I just feel like my mindset would be, I'm in charge of you. I'm going to see what I can do to make this better for me. So I wouldn't be relying on the giving up so quickly mindset. I would just, try to, push through, obviously, just keep planning and see what I can do, just better it. There's no need to give up so quick.
Got you. Kenny?
I do feel like to a certain degree as well too that I'm more a team as well too. Like I'm the type of person, if I'm starting something, I will dive every resource I have into that one thing till it's almost depleted at zero. Mm-hmm. Which is good, which is great, but it's bad at the same time because I'm just so laser focused and locked in. But I do feel like one thing that I had to learn at a certain point in time, you have to know when to call it quits, because there's some situations where you're going in hard, you're putting all your resources in, but then there's certain obvious thing that like like this is not working out. When there's another opportunity that's there, but your pride as an owner or your pride as you started from the bottom is not letting you move on to better opportunities.
Yeah.
Because you don't be viewed as a failure, but you're not viewed as a failure. It's the greatest accomplishment you can do because you're saving yourself time. Right. If you realize early on, well, I'm not gonna say early on, if you realize at a certain point when you realize you hit a plateau, like you've hit like a wall, and you've done everything possible to break through that wall, and the wall is still there, and you're understanding like, dang, I gotta move on to something, and you see the opportunity, and you're not too prideful to not switch over. I feel like it's the greatest asset you can have as an individual.
Let me push back on that because I remember talking to my boy Leonce about it. We were talking about the difference between persistence and delusion. Sometimes people say, hey, you gotta keep working at it, even if you can't see it. Even if you can't see it, you gotta still persist.
That's what it's a certain right. That's why it is also subjective as well too, because everything is not fixed. Right. Because there's some situations where some people if it doesn't work after a year or two, that's it. But also as well too, what is your motivation? I used to be very bad at this when it came to like certain things that I was working on. When it came, whether it was business, whether it was YouTube, whatever, obsession. How obsessed are you? And it could be a very dangerous thing to get yourself into when you're obsessed, because it goes back to what I was saying like a couple episodes ago, when you're a desperate man. And but that was in the form of relationship we're talking about, but it's in the form of your personal success. Being desperate in the form of success is great and bad. Great because obviously it shows like how hungry you are. Right. But bad in the sense that you're willing to do anything to make it. Yeah. No matter who I cross, no matter who I destroy, no matter what shortcuts I take, no matter who tears I cause, I'm going to make it. And that's a very dangerous thing to do. Because you can lose yourself as you get to your specific goal.
You can lose yourself, but nobody argues with the results. Like the Michael Jordan documentary, right? They talked about his obsession. They talked about who he was on the court, who he was in practice. They talked about him being like...
But someone felt the effects of that. Whether it might be his family, whether it might be certain friends. And there's certain things you can't take back. You just can't take back. True. Certain time you've missed out on because you quote unquote made the success. Yeah, you made it. But the price was like you sacrificed this amount of time with the loved one, or you sacrificed this amount of time, this specific aspect of your health that you can maybe get better, but you could probably never get back. So I do feel like having a certain level of discernment to understand the healthy balance between obsession, but at the same time being calm and relaxed a little bit is really important.
I feel you. It's always something like to measure out, because that success in that area might demand something out of other areas that if you're not careful of, you want to, hey, I want to get that back, but you can't. It's always something to consider, especially as us guys, because sometimes, we could be reckless. We could be like headstrong about something, stubborn about something, but it's like we got to measure out what is this demanding of us.
And on top of that, I do feel like one thing, just not only as men we have to, but just people in general, comparison is the thief of joy. Yep. You can't always look at what's on someone else's. Yeah. You don't know what they did to get a specific point. You see someone have this type of business, someone have this type of lifestyle, someone have this type of physique. You don't know what they did to get to that point. And even if it's quote unquote the right way, you don't know if you even have the mental fortitude or the mental strength to even last to get to where they want to.
Wait, so what's the difference between comparison and inspiration? I could be inspired by somebody, or I'm comparing.
Comparison is
What's the
inspiration doesn't
difference?
have jealousy.
What do you mean?
If when I'm in comparison as a thief of joy, there's a jealousy to it. If I'm seeing what you have and I'm bothered by, dang, I'm not at that level, I'm jealous of you.
Wait, but sometimes.
But if I'm inspired by you, I'm not jealous of you. It makes me want to motivate to get to mine. I'm happy for you, while at the same time, I want to get to your level.
I feel like it's a mindset thing as well.
That's why I feel like it's the difference between the two.
It's a mindset thing, but even I find myself, I'm not saying this is, I'm not trying to sound obsessed or anything. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I'm like, okay, I see this person accomplishing. I'm not particularly jealous of them, but I know I want to get to that level, and I'm uncomfortable not putting in the work to get to that level. Do you think that's
not
comparison or inspiration?
It's inspiration, but there's a fear with that inspiration because the fear is that you don't know if you're actually able to put in the work after being inspired.
But what if you know you're putting in the work and you're uncomfortable not putting in the work? You're uncomfortable with like staying stagnant or going.
Well, you're comfortable being stagnant.
Uncomfortable.
You're uncomfortable being stagnant.
I'm uncomfortable with me not taking that journey to get to where that person is.
Well, so what's stopping you from keeping going?
That's the question, right? That's a good question.
So it only matters like what's stopping you from keeping going. If you know you're uncomfortable with, so you said that you're uncomfortable with.
So say I have this physique I'm aiming toward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say like I'm doing nothing at that moment to get to that physique.
You can't complain.
I'm uncomfortable doing nothing to get to that. I'm uncomfortable doing nothing to get to that goal. Or that goal that I see other person is at.
But wait. I just want to make sure I understand the question. You're doing nothing to, well, in the example, the person is doing nothing to get to that physique, but they're uncomfortable being stagnant.
Yes.
But they're choosing to do nothing to get to that physique.
So that's their fault.
That exactly, it's
So
their fault.
So is that good for them to be uncomfortable, or is it bad for them?
I think it's delusional in themselves, bro. Because how you mad?
Be mad that
you're not doing nothing,
That's good,
but
though.
you uncomfortable
How's
that you
how's
ain't
that
doing
good,
nothing.
It's good because it pushes you to do that. You're uncomfortable being like not getting towards your
But
goal.
you ain't doing nothing.
But you're not doing it.
Right,
That's
you're uncomfortable
delusion.
with your action that makes you want to change, right?
Wait, say that one time?
If you're uncomfortable with your actions to get to that goal, the action that you've done so far, you got to change that. But what is that motivation to change? That's that uncomfortability.
Yeah.
So is that inspiration or is that
Comparison?
comparison?
It's still inspiration.
It's still inspiration because you don't want to feel like that no more.
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't want to feel like that.
So
anymore.
When it's
So that means
just
getting into gear.
yeah, chicken insecure. When I mean comparison for joy, if you have a sense of a jealousy or some type of animosity towards the thing you're actually looking at,
Exactly.
that's when it's a red flag.
Some type of dislike, some type of hatred.
Like if I see someone with a lamb, I'm like, dang. You like not even just, I'm like, dang. You like should be in a Yoda. Why you in a lamb? What made you get into a lamb and I'm not in a lamb? That's a red flag right there. Or instead of like, dang, that's a nice lamb.
Exactly.
Maybe that could be me one day and put in that
And
work too.
that goes back to the why not?
Exactly.
Why can't I do that though? Mm-hmm. And that's why.
And you're not hating on the person that's already at the level.
Right. So that inspiration is making me like, yo, I gotta get over there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So now you're gonna do whatever it takes, but don't get lost in the process of doing whatever it takes. Because you could start from one thing and be a completely different person at the end, and you don't wanna change yourself because you're not gonna be There's some people that just gets. How do I say this? So it's like from the same person that you began doing the process to like when it's all said and done and you got everything working out for you. I just feel like you're not the same person that you first were. Because some people are just like, when you get, like, you're on top of the mountain, you got all the money, and just like the money is the root of all evil type of thing. It's like,
Right.
But
The
also,
love of money.
but it also, yeah, the love of money, and it also depends on what was that person's foundation before they even got to the money. You feel me? Because like a lot of people are like, oh, money changed people, but I remember it was a friend of mine. You know, I ain't gonna put names out there. It's like money doesn't change you. Money just brings out more of what you already were. If that makes sense. So if you was a compassionate person from the jump, the money will showcase that even more. If you're a selfish person from the jump, the money will showcase that. But I also feel like it could be the opposite as well too, because as you grow to a specific point and if people start using you, it can cause you to be a bit more reserved than before you was open and compassionate.
Right.
But that's also a sign of growth as well too. If I'm always the same way, it could be a sense of me being naive. It's like I got robbed one time. It's like, for example, I'm walking down the street and I got like 100,000 cash on me, right? I'm walking. I get robbed. Boom, I get back. I get robbed. I'm like, dang. I'm walking again with 100. I get back.
Insanity.
Exactly.
That's dumb.
I'm a gook. I'm done. Like, really. I'm a walking lick at that point. Opposed to me like walking out the crib with nothing, walking out the house with anything.
I get what you're saying. I mean, even like a touch on what Tim said before, because you talked about like changing you, like that money or that success changing you, right? I think everybody changes with success regardless, but
You
it's
have
about
to change.
you have to change
Because you're growing, you're
will
learning new
change.
lessons, you will change.
right. But it's about what you intentionally change into.
Yeah.
Like a person who can be like carrying with maybe $100 on the bank versus they got $100,000 in the bank in the savings, not just like here and there. $100 in the savings, like
Man,
what is
people got
do?
that in the checkings too, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
But as in like this person needs to change, but what are they going to change into? Like a person who was selfish, like you said, they could change into somebody who's more caring, more giving, more charitable in a sense, or less selfish. But it's about who you intentionally change into becoming.
And what lessons did you learn that forced you to go through that change as well too? Because sometimes we go through lessons we didn't ask for. As as crazy as life is.
True.
Not every lesson we go through in life that we wanted to go through, but it made us a part of who we were. And even though it may seem unfair to us, down the road, if we didn't have those specific type of lessons, we may not have a specific level of resilience or have a specific mindset to know better. So even the harshest, cruelest lessons has a blessing or birth something new at the end of the day.
Do you think people have to relearn the lessons that they go through?
For some people, they have to. Unfortunately.
What about you, Tim?
I don't know why did this spark something in the past. Like just now, it's like,
And I have my reasons why I'm
I agree, in a way. Yeah, I agree. Because some people they want to jump into something else, knowing that they're not fully capable of, they're not fully healed in a way. So I just feel like it's important to relearn that lesson in order for you to fully understand what's going on.
I think life gives you a lesson. Like you remember, like back to math class. Unfortunately, remember how you had like the lesson, but then you had the mixed review from lessons from like from other chapters and stuff like that.
Mixed review.
I think life tosses that at you like sometimes. Like stuff that you may have already learned is just retesting you on those things. Like re-seeing if you, that mixed review. Do you remember that lesson you had before? Because I've always had like people giving me game on stuff like that. But I'm not always going to remember, or it's not always going to apply until I get like a mixed review kind of thing. Like some lessons I've learned in school might translate to the job, but I might have to relearn it a little bit or refresh my memory on it. I don't think that's something to kind of fault yourself on, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I fall victim to that a lot. Like beating myself over, like I should have learned that lesson over. I shouldn't be making these kind of mistakes over.
Like I have stories on that too.
Yeah, and that like I beat myself over that a lot of times. Like I learned this lesson already. Why am I going through this again? But it's something to
But you're human though.
Right, you have to grow, but that's part of the growth.
Exactly. You're human. It's okay to make mistakes, stuff like that. I mean,
I ain't trying to be human, dog.
this guy's
No, but what you're saying is right
cyborg,
though. But what you're saying is right though. I remember for me personally, like just looking back at different things I used to try, like when I was quote unquote starting an entrepreneurship journey or whatever. And I just realized that there's certain lessons that till this day I'm like, Lord, why? Like why I had it to lose that much. Got betrayed by certain close business partners and stuff like that. But I would say that if it was to work out back then, I probably wouldn't have been able to handle that success, because it was certain things was coming. It's like, so imagine you get a certain level of success almost overnight, and then you blow a lot of the stuff from it.
Yo, that's a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
Athletes talk about like, yo, they get all this money, I mean, some people, they say they get all this money from like internet sensations or whatsoever going viral, but then like 2 to 3 months that's gone.
And I remember in my specific situation, it was really just understanding how like tax and stuff like that, like how did that work out, like how I was going to manage all those different things. So when the things took a hit, I kind of was grateful because I'm like, if the thing was to blow up, it would cause a lot more problem. Like, how do you interact with family members now? How do you interact with certain friends at a specific point in time where you're getting this certain amount of dollar amount, but you haven't developed a discipline to not only say no, but like be so here. Just because I have more, I could splurge on this, I could splurge on that. So I feel like certain losses are necessary, and it goes back to not only timing but pacing. Did I actually pace myself correctly? You know, I remember it was a quote by Rick Ross, like, I don't want to move fast, I want to move correctly. And I resonate with that heavy. Is that moving fast is cool and all, but at the end of the day, it can cause a lot more damage in the long run than you initially see. So I feel like it's very important to, like, even though it may not be fast, but as long as you're taking the right steps, you're pacing yourself, you're moving correctly, you're going to be fine.
That's very key, bro. Yo, Kenny been dropping gems a little bit, yo. No, coming in, bro, for sure. I like it. I like it. He may have won this round. I ain't gonna lie to you. He might have won. I'll admit this beat only this one time. This one time, never again.
That's crazy.
I learned nothing from last year, nothing.
That's crazy.
Same year, New Year, same Vladimir, okay?
Yeah.
I'm joking. That's crazy. I'm gonna post that.
Same.
While everybody put it, New Year, new me.
Same me, bro.
New Year, same me, man. Same mistakes, same everything. Yeah. I didn't learn a damn thing.
New Year, same plan, bro.
Yeah.
Same plan.
Same. What you say? New Year, same
execution.
Same execution. I like it. Hey, I like it.
I just got more time now. That's it.
Yo, for sure, man. I love this discussion. This is something to start off the year.
This was good.
I mean, people are talking about that we were a little bit spicy the last couple of episodes, but actually go check those out because we were talking wild. I want to get your opinion on those so much, and we take nothing back, okay?
Yeah, I said what I said.
I like the energy. Hey, say your social media real quick.
Life_of_Pablo G on Instagram.
_Moneyman Tim. Another underscore after that.
Y'all know where to find me. Echo of Vlad _ It's a whole lot of underscores going on. Fred, again, does not... What's your Instagram again, Fred? Nah, Fred don't have an Instagram. But, for sure, you guys know where to catch me. You know where to put yourself in the comments. Press a like on the video, for sure. Yo, welcome to 2023. Welcome to 2023, for sure. I like it. We all here. We all made it. Let's have a good time. I wish you guys all the best. And with the rest, God bless.
Peace.
I like
yes,
it.
Sir.